Right, as you've seen, good. He was doing a casserole and you've made me do the same thing. So this is what I was telling you about the meat. Bit of flour in it. Always get a bit of flour in it. Give it a bit of that. There you go. And that's before you fry it off and you're sealing it. So you're just sealing it, alright? So bang that in on a hot, get it on a hot, what do you call it? A stove. Just let that warm up a little bit. And what you do is get some oil, olive oil, put a garlic clove in, put some herbs in, a couple of peppers, and you've got a nice flavoured oil there instead of using a ordinary basic ones. There you go, and it costs you nothing. So
can we just explain what this is for?
That is medicinal purposes, and it is for the wine to help the stew. Now, so there we go. There you go. As you can see, when you hear it like spitting, you get your meat in. There you go. Get your meat in. Put that away. Wash your hands if you're touching meat all the time. And the best way to do this is always use a wooden spatula. Right, wooden spatula. There you go. If you find that it's sticking a little bit, get a bit of water out there. Get a bit of water. There you go. That'll mix with the oil, and it won't be too oily then. But in that goes. Right, as you see, I've pre-cut some stuff here, and what I've done is I haven't got enough potatoes. I've only got 2, so I've nicked 3 of them, and I've got some sweet potato to go with it. All right. So there we go. Just literally. I always put just a couple of cloves of garlic in there, just to give it that little bit of oomph, otherwise it becomes too beefy, stewy, that kind of carry on. Get that, bang it in with the meat, there you go, bang it in with the meat, give it a little stir, there you go, that'll do nicely, and there you go, right. Don't let that get too hot too quick. Right. So you're just sealing it, so you're getting it brown sort of thing. So we can take that off now. If you want, you can put an onion in with it, just to get it up. Don't do onions too big, a chunk in stews, because it goes soft and horrible at the end. In a curry, always do your onions right at the end, about 3 minutes before you're finished, then put them up, but put them in big because they stay crunchy then. Same with your peppers, that kind of stuff. So we're going to leave that there for a minute. We're going to get that other onion, spin that round, nice big onion. There you go, bang that in, and that'll just warm through before you put it to cook up. Right, so we leave that there. If it helps, a little bit of wine.
There we go, Rick Stein with his wine.
A little bit more for look. There you go. So there you go. Right, so in there is your bits and pieces. So let that wine just burn off, get rid of the alcohol. In there I've got some vegetables cooking. As you can see, some potatoes, carrots. Always do your carrots nice and big and chunky because they taste better than them little shitty little things. Marie taught me that years ago. Don't let anything look. See this? Take them out now because they don't need to cook anymore. So you can take all the stuff out of here out. Right, just chuck it away in there. All this stuff. You don't need to let that cook anymore now. So get all that out. Save your juice because you might need to water it down or thicken it up or whatever. Right, there you go. Bang that down there. Chuck it in there. All this here was going to reduce anyway because it will soften down. There'll be a couple of things in there like potatoes. Right, so you get your little knife, press it, make sure it's soft enough. Yeah, that's okay. So they're okay, they're all good, they are. Right, this is what you use a packet of stuff. Why not? I try to use mixture of everything. First put a little bit of paprika in, just give it that bit of oomph. and a little bit of mixed, not too much mixed herbs though, right? And the rest of the stuff is, but get that, bang it all there, chuck it all in, and in as you fire that, right? So that'll give it a nice little flavour, right? Always get one of these as well, a little stock cube. Don't put it in like that because it comes lumpy. Chop it into little strips, then turn it round so it's like a little chessboard, and then bang that in as well. That goes in, chuck it in there. And a lot of people, what they do is here, the root of the collie and the broccoli, always don't chuck it all away, because if you just get the part of it, which is this bit here, that's the stem, and you slice bits off like that, they taste really nice. They're just like broccoli, a little bit crunchy, and you chuck them in as well. So they're perfect, they are. Bang them in. Right, there you go. There you go. These here, little mange two and all that carry on. Right. Always remember when you're doing these, pinch it there, pull it down there, and it takes that strip off that's like a chewy little bit of string, and that's what you get. Do them, and don't put them in until it's cooked, then you add them. Don't bother cooking them. Leek. Take the bottom off, take the top off where it starts to go soft. There you go. It starts to go soft. Take your first layer off, because you'll probably have a load of shit behind there. There you go. As you can see, it's perfectly clean, so I've already washed it. When you cook these, don't cut them down like that. Do it on an angle, because they will stay together. Right, so there you go. Take them all off. Any loose bits, just pull them off. Bang them in as well. You don't need to cook these through because they're soft anyway. Chuck them in there. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Right, always clean the mess up. Chuck it away. Right, there's your meat cooking. There's your meat cooking and your onions. Right, now you normally can tell by now if that's going to fit into there or not, and you can see quite clearly it's not. Your old stock juice, to thin it out a little bit, bang a bit of that in, and that will give it the consistency you want. If you want to thicken it up, a little bit of gravy granules or corn flour and a little tiny little bit of water, mix it up into a thickish paste, add it slowly, otherwise it will be lumpy. Right, that's the right consistency there. So we'll bang that over there, get that out of the way, turn them two off, bang, bang. We've got that there for the spuds. Here's the spuds. As you can see, I only had 2 spuds. So I run out of spuds, so instead of going to the shop, I'm going to add some sweet potatoes, as I normally do. Bang it all in, there you go. So Gord's probably eating his great big massive stew casserole as it is now. Right, you don't need to do these great big massive things, because it's a mashed potato, so you get it out, get it in. When this is cooked, if you want to make it a bit creamier, then you can add a little bit of creme fraiche or cream or butter. If you're on a diet, then you don't bother. Right, so there you go. These little things here, a pain in the arse. Get them done. Come closer, come closer.
Oh, Rick's down with his wine again.
No. What's his name? That's the one that was to drink went wine. What's his name?
Rick Stein, the piss pot.
No, it weren't him. It weren't Rick Stein. It was another bloke.
Keith Rhodes.
Was it Floyd?
Floyd, that's it. Keith Floyd. No, not Keith
Floyd. That was him. He
Keith
was always
Floyd?
drinking it, yeah. Rick Stein, he don't drink nothing.
He does.
He just eats cockles. Right, these are a bit hard, so put your fingers on these.
Would you put them in at the same time as the normal potatoes? Because don't they get cooked quicker?
These, although they're harder, they're a lot harder to cut. You think they're going to take longer to cook, but they're going to be a mash, so it don't matter. Right? It really don't matter. If you're going to add them to your casserole, so you're going to add, say, that many there, just cut them a bit smaller and just put them in as they are, like that. Because when they're a mash, it don't matter if something cooks before something else, because they're just being mashed up. So you put a couple in there, give it a bit of colour, put a couple more in a minute. And I like my vegetables chunky like that when I'm doing a casserole, not little piddly things. bang them in there. There you go. There you go. Bang them in there. A couple of spuds for the mash as well, chuck them in as well, because we ain't got many mashed potatoes, and that will give us the quantity we need in there. Right, so that's there, that's there, that's there. That goes over there, that goes there. Give it a little wipe down so you don't look like a weirdo. Bang that in there. They go in at the end, they go there. Your meat's ready, that's your mashed potato, that's there in case you need any more juices to put in there. And as you can see, that will reduce down to about there and the meat will go in. But it isn't quite good enough. So what we do is we change. Always give it a bit extra, otherwise it'll go all over the edges. And as you can see, Gord's just bought one like this, which inspired him to do a casserole tonight. So bang that in there. There we go. Get it in. That goes in the sink. Spread it all out. There you go. Bang the meat in. You'll see what consistency it is when you actually see where we're going with this. Right, now in there, you think that's it. We've got loads of flavour still in there, so get some of this, bang it in, give it a little mixture all around there, get all the stuff off, there you go, get it all off, and then bang that in as well. That can go in the sink ready for cleaning up. That can go in the fridge in a minute. Let's have a little bit of that. One for me, one for them. There you go. So, mashed potatoes cooking. You can add creme fraiche at the end of that to make it a bit creamier, or butter. If you want a bit creamy and a little bit of a bite to it, a little bit of English mustard in there, 2 teaspoonsful. There you go. Right, here's the old carry on. No need to mix it up and do all that carry on because it just mixes itself as it cooks. That there is now ready for the old carry on. Just a little taste of this. Right then. Beautiful. Right, there you go. What the sky blues. Goes in there for about put it in about 220 to begin with, and after 20 minutes knock it down to 200. Leave it in there for about an hour while you're watching Corrie and EastEnders and all that carry on, and before you know it, your meal's ready. That is how you do a casserole.